good.
I know how that feels.
Never
It's
wanna
like, I
be
don't want to go.
Yeah.
Once you're there, you're fine.
Right, yeah.
No, I started the year that I was 4, 2, and 5, and then up until I graduated high school.
Oh, wow.
But I was never on the bachelor again because I had to choose between staying at the lower level
Right.
and also doing marching band and jazz band. And that was what I really loved.
So what is your deal?
Marimba.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. So, when I was younger, we actually, went to Chicago at your wedding.
I played vibes in the jazz band when I was in high school. I miss it so much.
Do you have your own set?
So, with the exception of that, I played fencing recital. So I went to, other than that, I haven't played since I graduated college,
Wow.
which was 5.5 years ago.
That's too bad.
I know, I really miss it. We're getting the Friday Night Live thing situated, and I'm like, if we had a marimba, I would play.
Do they make any, like,
I have a little, like a glockenspiel, a little one, but the stand needs fixed. The stand's broken. It doesn't keep height, so it hits about like here, which was fine when I was 10,
right.
but not so much. So I have that. I just need to get the pair mounts for it, so I don't have any.
Probably get some fix the stand.
I'm sure. It's missing a screw is what it is. I think. We never fixed it because it didn't matter because I was short enough that it was okay.
Right.
But I feel like it's probably, or worst case scenario, you super glue it together and I just don't know where it comes from collapse all.
Right.
So like it's fixable, it just hasn't been a high priority lately.
You could probably also just use duct tape. That's when you can take the duct tape off if you want to collect it. So duct tape is almost anything. Right?
And I'm playing a lot of piano.
Good for you.
I enjoy music and playing instruments.
I took piano lessons for a lot
I
of
never did. I'm entirely self-taught.
Yes.
Because the marimba's the same set as
Right.
piano. The technique is different. I at least know what it is.
I was thinking it was clear when I left this morning.
internet and
I got my snow tires on yesterday, so usually that
and
means.
then I actually, for a while I had.
Issue
Right.
would be different.
When I left Pittsburgh, I gave it to my nephew. I thought his oldest one wanted to take piano lessons. Which she did for a while, and then she was off it. And he was like, I never played it, but I should have.
I would love to take lessons, but I don't have time.
Much longer?
Watch along.
Because like a lot of things are harder to start as an adult, like things that are like martial arts are harder to start as an adult. Like piano, but
I
it's
tried
like
martial arts once. I heard
Shabbos?
so much the next day. It's like, same with yoga.
See you?
oh I like yoga if I can do it on my own. I can't do yoga classes. I have from dancing I have chronic pain in my knees. And so I just I'll modify it to a really level, but like when I get so subconscious,
Right.
I'm just like, I'll just do it on my own.
I'm gonna start to try charity.
Just let me know, it's something to like. Because I lost a lot of strength and flexibility when I stopped dancing. And so I'd like to build that back up.
Now, does your brother play instruments as well?
They both do. I mean, Ben's music ed major,
Right.
on saxophone. He was in the blue band at Penn State for 3 years.
Wow.
So he's like good. He's really good. That's Samuel played drums. He stopped because he's in school for aerospace engineering.
Oh, wow.
And he was in that band, but didn't have time to do that, and like everything else he was doing. He was like,
I said I'm gonna sit by you.
When I was
Here.
Huh?
As long as it's not a corner with me, so good.
No, I didn't sit next to you.
Because I was one semester, I took classes over. Because I couldn't go to every time I read.
This is working weather.
Yeah, that's true.
I asked my parents for a new baby because I had one back like, I don't know, 2011.
One vote now, the rest of it is next year, but it was nice.
Okay.
Feeling better, still tight.
Like everything was basically. I mean,
Yeah.
we had ours was too full.
That seems that I would just like.
Well, he didn't make tax work, so I don't respond to tax work. But I was getting tax work again. I was
All together in tax.
terrible.
I mean, and you're
Well,
only
he didn't do it.
But I finished it. See? All the stuff's cleaned up. It's cleaned up. You just clean up.
So ours is a chicken pounder, which is not just about making it. I did that.
So when I got sick, when I tested,
Where are you working?
but we didn't give him tax relief. By that
Something
time,
special.
he was, and so I think that really, that gave me a chance to heal. Yeah.
That side of the
Yeah,
family.
we had to talk about it.
Yes, that's what side of the family.
That's fine.
She and
You're
her
right.
mother saw
And that doesn't cost them.
Wednesday when I got Cleveland.
That's exciting. Yes, yes. But when he gets a cold, it's totally worth it.
Kind of brisket today.
Yes. Amen to that. All right.
Shots for the gun.
There we go, yeah. Because everything's wonderful.
These are the W.
You have some.
I've been through security like your daughter.
We were at
I wanted to get some of the to the airport. So I went to the restaurant and had some snacks. Only 2 hours. I drive where I had it this year. It worked. It wasn't too big.
So maybe like
But her fudge, that's it. Would you like that? They said it's just how it is.
you know, you take it off in the car.
You're getting all, you're getting both well.
What's your choice?
I just need to look over it.
Also,
Just came from my
Yes, I'm tomorrow, I'm happy to.
Well, Shabbat Shalom.
This point.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to begin on page 2 as we, first of all, where's my kippah? I had it on before, hold on. I had it on. That's somewhere.
I like gaslit myself after leaving here. I was like, I'm just gonna go. And then they called me. I was like,
Success.
it's like I was just thinking about it.
Take 2.
Somebody asked me once, one of the kids were here, and they said, well, how do you keep your kippah on? I said, well, there's magic clips. And then I showed them, and there's these bobby pins, of course, and they said, well, what happens if you're bald? I said, well, you get a bigger kippah. So, although I do know some of my colleagues who are bald, they use double-sided tape. Whatever. It works. It works. So, Shabbat Shalom, and we'll begin on page 2 as we invite Jordan to light our candles. And thank you to Chris, who is our soloist this evening. Is this your first time leading the whole service?
I've done it before, but piano was here.
Got it. Okay.
And Allie had to keep coming up because I was nervous. So technically, yes.
Yes. All right. Awesome.
All right. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Let's turn together to page 10, and we'll join in Hine Matov, how great it is to be together.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
And we turn together to page 20 as we welcome Shabbat into our hearts and lives, as we welcome our Shabbat bride. And we're going to be doing which verses?
1, 2, and 9.
1, 2, and 9.
Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shemor v'zachor v'dibor
echad, l'shem ol tiferet v'litila, lecha dodi, likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabela, likrat Shabbat, lechu v'necha, ki mekor ha'beracha, mirosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh ha'kshavat tehila, lecha dodi, likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabela, moi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat, nekabela.
Please be seated and we'll continue page 22. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. Mizmor shir le'yom HaShabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns of praise to your name, Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night with a 10-string harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Together, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong. And on page...
Someday we should sing Sadi Katamar. Beautiful.
Well, come on up.
Well, nobody knows it, so we have.
We'll have to teach
It
it.
is a beautiful song.
Which one?
Well, there
There are
are several,
several.
but I like Sadi Katamar.
Okay, so in January, that's your job. Julie's going to teach Sadiq Katamar. All right, page 24. We join in Shalom Aleichem, wishing each other a world of peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashem. Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn together to page 26 as we rise for Chatzi Kaddish. And we'll follow that on the following page with Baruch Hu.
Yitgadol v'yitkadosh shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivrach chirotei ve'amlik malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayetecho bet Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'v'zman kariv. Limeru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach. Le'alma me'almaya. Yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach. V'yitpa'ar v'yitruman v'yitnasei. V'yithadar v'yithalei v'yithalal. Shmei kedisha b'richu. Le'al min kol b'chirata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran me'alma. V'meru, amen.
And we remain standing for Baruch Hu, page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch
Adonai Hamvorach. Le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated as we continue page 30 with Ma'ariv Aravim, and we'll join together in the Hebrew. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher b'dvarecha ma'ariv aravim. B'chokhmah
poteach sha'arim, uvitbuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem b'rakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, HaMa'ariv Aravim. Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We rise together and join in Shema, page 34.
Which one you chose?
The traditional Shema, I think, yeah. So, Shema.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
And please be seated as we continue in V'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai לאלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohim. Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. The earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. And on page 40, we join in our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, O Sefele, Nora tehilot, O Sefele, Adonai imlok leolam va'ed. בוקי הים לפני משה
ומרים,
אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש.
ונאמר כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you our protection and safety, and in your presence our acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We join in Vishamru on page 44.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
We turn together to page 46 as we rise for Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips that our mouths may declare your praise. Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Gubla livnei vneihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol taharav laHoshiach. Meshiv haruach, Morid haGashem. Melchokel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בלי שני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקודשים בכל יום ובלב וסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated as we continue, page 53. Where might I find you, exalted hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you. Please, draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching for me. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Let's join together, top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 59. Modim anachnu lach, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'ed lehodot. Page 61, we'll join together in our prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim this message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha
time for silent prayer.
Oh, say shalom imromav, Uya say shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Vimru, Vimru, Amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We turn together to page 253. We think of all those in our lives, our family and friends, our members of our community, people we are connected to in varieties of different ways, perhaps people we don't even know. And yet we send these blessings, these energies of healing to all who need healing of body and soul and mind and heart. And in our congregation, we especially mention Ross McCullough, Eric Shabetta, Stephanie Willis, Alicia Leopold, Louis Tannenbaum, Carol Ford, Ali Ford, Darlene Wardarski, Jan Mandel, Doug Botner, Melanie Wood, Irv Willis, Alana Bennett, Hani Alajam, Philip Zaks, Nancy Thompson, Rabbi Brad Bliefeld, Marcia Koblitz, Barbara Shapira, Darlene Sharp, Zachary Salmon, Paula Perry, Carol Puttringer, and Amy Vidmar. If you're joining us via live stream and you would like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. And if you are here in person, as I look around, if you'd like to add a name, please do so.
Barbara Jurgen, Don Bosch.
Jen House.
Page 7, double Greenville.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Okay. Let me pass these sheets around. Good. Actually, let me. Actually, I think we have a few more over there.
Does anyone still do
All right. So we are about to begin the festival of Hanukkah, which begins on evening of the 25th. So whatever you might be doing as you are eating Chinese food and going to your movie, which is the Jewish observance of the 25th of December, you can follow that with some potato latkes and lighting your Chanukiah. Now, Hanukkah really comes from the story of the Maccabees. And the Maccabees were a group of people who fought out against Greek oppression. And one of the things that the Greeks forbid the Jews to do is to study. And so I thought as we prepare for Hanukkah, we could do a little Talmud study. All right? Good. So, what you have here in front of you are some selections from Talmud. So it's in the section known as Shabbat, which of course is exactly where you would expect to find material on Hanukkah, which gives you an indication of the way in which Talmud is organized or not organized. Right? Talmud is this kind of wandering of topics, and it actually begins in Shabbat with a whole conversation about candles, and then it takes a hard right-hand turn into Hanukkah for a while, and it meanders through that for a bit, and then it eventually loops its way back to Shabbat. But it actually is not going to be for about 1,000 years after the Talmud gets formulated until Maimonides codifies it all and sort of organizes it by topic. But in any case, so the sages taught in a Baraita, which is a section, a unit of Talmud. The basic mitzvah of Hanukkah is each day to have a light kindled by a person, the head of the household for himself. Of course, this is dating it in terms of this kind of, when it was written, right? Of his household. And so, each night, the head of the household lights a candle, is what the Talmud says is the essence of Hanukkah. Different than what we know, right? Then it goes on and it says, the Mahadrin, the ones who are like super eager religious, right, who are meticulous in the performance of their mitzvot, kindle a light for each person in the household. Right? So if you're super observant, you should light a candle for everybody in your house. Also not what we do. The Mihadrin, the ones who are super duper religious, they're even more meticulous than the other people. They are the ones that adjust the number of lights per day. This is not what we do, right? Because what we do is actually the evolution of several thousand years of tradition. So, here you have, the next thing you're going to find are two different ways of doing this. So, Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, which are two competing sort of rabbinic institutions, schools of thought, let's say, and they are throughout the Talmud. Throughout the Talmud, Hillel and Shammai usually disagree, but they get to the same place, right? They say, you turn left and then you turn right, or you turn right and then you turn left, but either way you're going to get to the place, right? So the rabbis basically have come up with a solution that says, okay, whenever in the Talmud there's an argument between Hillel and Shammai, we're going to follow Hillel. in this world. In the next world, the world to come, we're going to do everything according to Shammai. So in Hillel for this world, Shammai for the next world, everybody's going to be happy, right? I think, whatever. Anyway, okay. So Shammai says, on the first day, one kindles 8 lights. That's right? So first day, you're going to fill up the Chanukiah, 8 lights, plus the Shamash, you're going to do the extra one. Right? And from there, you gradually decrease the number of lights, until on the last day of Hanukkah, one kindles 1 light. Right? Anybody do it that way? No, because that's not what we do. Right? But Hillel says, what?
We're not in the afterwards.
We're not in the after just yet. But Hillel says, on the first day, one kindles the 1 light, and from there on gradually increases the number of lights until on the last day there are 8 lights, which is what we do, right? Now,
Mine actually makes a little more sense, because when the 8 nights are, when they're a little less light each night, because the oil burned down.
I know, I agree.
okay, well, hold that thought for a minute, because we're going to get into what the Talmud says, why each of them has their opinion, right? Hold on to that thought. But just to be clear about lighting the Chanukiah. So, from your perspective, looking at the Chanukiah, is the first night on this end or on this end? Right? It's on the very right-hand side. So you're facing, right? This is you facing it, right? So it's on the very right-hand side is the first candle, right? So you light the first candle first night, and you light the Shamash. Then on the second night, you have 2 candles, one here and one here. Which do you light first? The newest one. So you add them right to left, you light them left to right. It's always a conversation. Which way do we do this? Anyway, so there you go. Add them right to left, light them left to right.
You see a spike in the Google searches for how light Hanukkah.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. I had this conversation with my study group at the prison this week, and they were convinced it was the other way. This one guy was absolutely convinced. No, my parents always did. I said, look, I can't tell you what to do, but here's how we do it. Okay. So, now we're going to get into the next level of Talmud, which are the commentaries. And here we go. Ula said, there were 2 Amoraim, so there are 2 sort of scholars in the West. Eretz Yisrael, who disagreed with regard to this dispute. Okay. So Rabbi Yossi Bar Avin and Rabbi Yossi Bar Tzveda said that the reason for Beit Shammai's opinion is that the number of lights corresponds to the incoming days, i.e. the future. Right. So Shammai is like building, is starting with the most and going down. On the first day, 8 days remain in Hanukkah. One kindles 8 lights. On the second day, 7 days remain. One kindles 7, etc. So you're counting down the days. The reason for Beit Hillel's opinion is that the number of lights corresponds to the outgoing days. Each day, the number of lights corresponds to the number of days of Hanukkah that were already observed. Right? On the first day, we've observed 1 day of Hanukkah. On the second day, 2 days of Hanukkah, and so a candle that represents each. And one said that the reason for Beit Shammai's opinion, so we're getting another guy's opinion of what Shammai said. The reason for Beit Shammai's opinion is that the number of lights corresponds to the bulls of the festival of Sukkot. What in the world does Sukkot have to do with Hanukkah? Well, it's the sacrificial bulls that were offered on Sukkot. Right? So, 13 were sacrificed on the first day of Sukkot, and each succeeding day, one fewer was sacrificed. So the Sukkot model says, start with, there's 8 days of 7 days, 8 days of Sukkot, and you start on the first day with 13, the second day with 12, the third day with 11. So the theory being, you decrease as you go through the holiday. So they're saying that Hanukkah should follow the same pattern. Why? 2 reasons. One, Sukkot is a biblically ordained holiday, and Hanukkah is not. Hanukkah is a rabbinic holiday. It's created by the rabbis, and therefore Sukkot has more authority than Hanukkah does. So if the Sukkot tradition is to decrease, then Hanukkah should follow the pattern. 2, when the Maccabees rededicated the temple, and it says in the book of Maccabees they held an 8-day celebration, we actually think that this was a delayed celebration of Sukkot. That we think that it had only been about 7 or so weeks since Sukkot had occurred, and Sukkot in the biblical period was the quintessential holiday. It wasn't Rosh Hashanah, it wasn't Yom Kippur, it was Sukkot. If you were ever going to make it to the temple for a pilgrimage, Sukkot was the time. For practical reasons as well as spiritual reasons, Sukkot was a time where you didn't have something else going. Right? Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, you were almost in the middle of harvest. You couldn't really leave. You couldn't take 3 or 4 days to get there, 3 or 4 days to get back, plus the holiday there. You know, it's like an accountant taking vacation in April. It doesn't happen. Right? But to take pilgrimage in Sukkot after the harvest has happened is perfect, because you can't plant anything until the winter crops, and that happens, several months down the road. So they think it was this delayed expression of Sukkot. So the reason for Beit Hillel's opinion is that the numbers light is based on the principle: one elevates to a higher level in matters of sanctity, and one doesn't downgrade. So the idea being that you work your way up to something versus taking something away, right? You're always trying to get better at something, be more intense about something, less, and not, kind of just start up and let things just peter out. So, now the next piece that it teaches on the next page, the sages taught in a Braita, it's a mitzvah to place the Hanukkah lamp in the entrance to one's house on the outside so that everybody can see it. Right, so if you actually go to Israel, there are these little menorah boxes that you can buy, that are these little glass boxes that you hang outside your home, and you put your Chanukiah in this box, and everybody can see your Chanukiah. If one lives upstairs, in other words, if you live in an upper unit, you place your Chanukiah in the window that is overlooking the street, that is overlooking the public area. Here's the interesting part. In a time of danger, when the non-Jews issued decrees that prohibited lighting or prohibited actions or anything like that, one places it on the table and has fulfilled their obligation. So if there's a threat or some whatever reason, again, Judaism always errs on the side of safety. Right? Saying that you can never do, the fulfillment of any mitzvah is prohibited if it puts you in any sort of danger. Right? So you're not allowed to endanger yourself to fulfill any sort of commandment. So, as we head into this beautiful holiday of lighting our candles, and we'll light candles together on, not on the 25th, but on the Friday night. We'll light candles here together on Friday, and then Saturday morning we'll also do that. as we also celebrate a special baby naming of the Breakstones. And we'll also light our Hanukkah candles in a pre-Hanukkah celebration on Sunday. So I hope that you will have planned to join us. We have some amazing food and some fun entertainment and things happening. So if you've not made your reservation, haha, too late. No. Is it too late, right? Are we close? I think we're...
That's a lot of power.
Yes, this is called me passing the buck.
I'm going to say we still have room for a few more, but if you're,
Let us know.
send me an email.
Yes. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 spots, literally 1 or 2 spots left. And we want to make sure that everybody can enjoy brisket and lovely latkes. Our latkes this year were made by the Charter School of Excellence Culinary Program, and they look fantastic. So looking forward to having those. So, okay, wishing everybody a wonderful, wonderful, blessed Hanukkah. What is the greeting for Hanukkah? Hanukkah Sameach, a happy Hanukkah. It is how we usually do the greeting. It's not a Chag Sameach, because a Chag denotes a pilgrimage or a festival, and it is not a festival. So it's Chanukah Sameach, or a happy Hanukkah. Great. All right. And we are going to continue on page 282 as we rise for Aleinu. Middle of the page.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet k'tila yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu v'gaya haratzot, v'lo samanu mishbechot ha'adama, shelo samchokenu kahem, v'gor aleinu v'chol hamonam. Anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu shehu notei shamayim ve'yosed haaretz u'moshe yekarov b'shamayim ima'al Ushkinatu zo, begov meromim, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efesu Lato, Kakatuv Betorato, Yedata hayom ve'hashivota elevavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim hashamayim mima'al me'aretz mitachat einod V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz hayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. Page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those around us. The psalmist said that in his affliction he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence, and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. And thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts as an abiding blessing. And on this Shabbat, we observe Yahrzeit for Rebecca Michael, Rose Strauss, Darwin Luntz, Hyman Parker, Miriam Cohen, Abraham Cooper, Emma Kahn, Catherine Weiss, Bertha Cohen, Shirley Kulbeck, Louis Pollock, James L. Schuster, Minnie Brody, Charles Shapira, Meyer Todman, Figa Cohen, George Freed, J. William Cutting, Bronislava Leibovich, Elaine Kahn-Bondi, Francis Eisenberg Kramer, Abraham Hyman, Celia Reich-Moos, Joseph Burstein, and Stanley Ratner. If you are joining us via live stream and you would like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. If you are here in person and would like to add a name, please do so. We turn together to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divra v'rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei echon u'v'yom echon, u'v'chayei echol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam v'lamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dikudshah barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mirmav, uya aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
So tonight, there are two people that I have to talk about briefly. The first one is Lou Pollock. Not only was he Bobby's husband, but he was a past president, and not only did he do wonderful things for the temple, but he did wonderful things for the greater Jewish community, and exceptional support to WQLN. He was an absolutely wonderful person. And then the second one is James Schuster, who he was also a president, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong, those of you who were here, but I think that he was the one who went into the basement of the 10th Street Temple and managed to take care of all of the gathered up things that people left in the basement. And so a lot of the artifacts that we have in the artifact room, I think were saved because of a lot of hard work on the part of James Schuster. Thank you.
Nice. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always bless us, as their legacies certainly do. And we'll turn together to page 353. And before we do that, we'll invite Craig forward to share some announcements.
Surprise.
We got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do. Thank you, Rabbi and Chris. Very nice, very nice. Thank you. Services this week are in memory of Bronislav Leboyevich, Shirley Kulbeck, Louis Pollock, and Charles Shapira. And Rabbi has already given some of the announcements. First off, we have our Latka party coming up on Sunday. thing do want to remind you, though, is about our baked goods auction. So remember to bring your baked goods in for that, and remember to bring cash or checks to pay for those baked goods when you bid on them. So don't forget that. Also, Rabbi had already mentioned we have a baby naming next weekend, next Shabbat. That's Saturday, December 28th at 10 a.m., and Kiddush lunch will follow. Don't forget about our ongoing Tzedakah campaign, the table out front there. The Kearsarge Food Pantry, we're in the area of the temple is located in the area where the Kearsarge Food Pantry ministers to people. And they get food and donations from the food bank, the regional food bank, but they've been severely cut back this year. So we have offered our help. We have some people that are volunteering there. If you want to volunteer, you can call the office and they'll tell you how to do that. But the point is, what we started doing is each week when you come in, bring a can of food or bring a box of cereal. Just one thing every week if you can remember that, or one or two things if you want. And all of that will go to the Kearsarge Food Pantry to minister to the folks in our area that are in need of food. Finally, the bat mitzvah of Daniel Spry has been rescheduled. Hopefully no snow on January 11th at 10 a.m. because we all have a bat mitzvah taking place. So check your weekly emails and the temple topics for more details. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Truly, Yasher Koach. So beautifully done. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so we'll continue with our closing song, Od Yavo Shalom, on page 353.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam.
Want to do it again? Salam. Good. Let's join in Kiddush, page 5.
Hang on, I can open pages so fast.
Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'rasavanu, v'shabbat kosho, ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu.
prayer, I need some help. Maya, can you help me? Joseph, can you help me? Come on up. A Jewish unicorn. Look at it. Okay. Whoa, awesome. I can't bear it. Is it a bear? Oh, it's a wolf or a dog? Okay. I was barking up the wrong tree.
I'm leaving.
Are we ready?
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Okay, now your job is to tear off a piece. Yeah, go ahead. Awesome. And say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Yesher Koach. You were so great. Thank you. You were great.